Hey, what's going on, collectors? This is the Figure King coming to you with yet another review. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at a figure that I'm not too familiar with. It comes to us from the Magic the Gathering Legacy Collection line. Now, Magic the Gathering, I'm not that familiar with it. I know that it was a card game, or it is still a card game. I saw some Magic the Gathering cards being played when I was a kid. I never really got into it. But nevertheless, these guys have some really cool and unique characters. And I ran across this figure here in a place that you probably wouldn't expect to run across this sort of figure. I actually found it in my fiance's job. Now, the cool thing is, I looked these guys up online and they normally run about 12 to 13 bucks. As you can see here at the retail sticker, I only paid about $5 and some change for it. So that was a pretty cool find. Now, this figure comes to us from Funko Toys, and it's Garruk Wild Speaker. Now, up at the top of the box here, you see that it's a Magic the Gathering figure, and it's our #2 figure in this line. The figure is nicely displayed here in the window box packaging, not looking too bad. Down here in the corner, we get a nice image of Garruk. Here on the other side, in the other corner, we get Funko. Down there at the bottom, you see that there's a warning: a choking hazard may contain small parts. And down there, right below the image of the figure, we see that this figure is only intended for ages 14 and up. We turn it here on this side, see the Legacy Collection. Around here on the back, it has Series 1. I take it there's two different series that they're giving us here, but this is Series 1. And here you see the other figures that come in Series 1. That's Jace Bellerin, a Garruk Wild Speaker, a Johnny Goldmane, Nissa Ravane, Lillian Vass, and Chandra Nalir. If you guys actually know the name of the characters, feel free to comment. I gave it my best. I probably butchered a few of them, but yeah, if you guys actually know the names of the characters and know anything about these characters, feel free to comment on the video. And here on the other side, we get a really nice image of Garruk. It's the same image that we saw on the front, and we've got his name right below the image. We got some sort of symbol, and we've got the Legacy Collection. It's a really nice box that they displayed these figures in. This isn't the only figure that I saw there. I also saw the Johnny figure, and I actually saw two more figures from this line at my local comic book shop, but they were about 22 bucks. And I was kind of like on the fence about getting them because, like I said, I don't know much about Magic the Gathering, but I just picked this guy up because, I mean, it was pretty much a steal at $5. I've also been considering going down to my local comic book store and picking up this chick here, the Chandra chick. She's the one that conjures the fire, if I'm not mistaken, and she looks really cool, so I think I'm gonna pick her up. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take a small break, get this guy open. Stay tuned. Alright guys, now here is Garruk out of the packaging, and the first thing I'm going to say about this figure is that it is heavy. This guy definitely has some weight to him. Another thing I'm gonna say is he kind of looks like a hobo warrior. Reason I say that is because his get up looks like just some stuff that he found and like just threw on himself. Like I said, I don't know too much about this figure. Don't know too much about the character. I don't know what sort of warrior he is, but he looks pretty fierce. He looks like the type of hobo that you don't want to run across in a dark alley, because one of the accessories that he comes with is this huge axe, and the detail in the axe is really cool. I like the shade that they use with the plastic, and it's a hard plastic, but it's not like hard, like it's solid, but it's bend. You can bend it like it's a bendy plastic, and they molded it to look like wood. They molded and painted the handle to look like wood, so that is a nice added touch. It's got the wraps around there. And it's also got the wraps around the tip, which is really cool. The actual tip of the handle looks like metal. The paint work on the weapon is really nice. We got some nice dry brushing along the blade there. And this thing is pretty solid and heavy itself. So that's the accessory. The figure itself has a lot. Man, I really don't even know where to start with this guy. He has a lot of clothing on, a lot of armor, or whatever you want to call it. He's got this nice helmet on his head, and it's not a separate piece. It's actually attached to his face. I actually thought you could take it off, but you can't. I saw a review. The figure, I think JC did a review on this figure, and yeah, I guess if you want, you can pull it off, but probably just gonna have a bunch of black paint under there. And his skin is done in like this pale white type of paint, and he has this piece on his wrist, this piece of I would say chain link, but it's not really chain link. That's actually you can actually move it. He has a lot of like yeah, it's confusing stuff on. The face sculpt is pretty solid. As you can see, he's got his beard there. It's nicely painted. Just gonna give you guys a nice front back look at this guy. You guys can kind of determine what this getup is he's wearing, what it's made out of. This is made out of some sort of animal, maybe bison fur or something like that. It's got the spikes coming out of the back, which is really cool. The spikes aren't hard. They're pretty much the soft plastic. And he's got the metal piece or the armor piece on his arm. That's a soft plastic as well. Another thing he has here is he has a broken sword. That's not a solid piece either. It's all pretty much just that pliable, like bendy plastic. The paint work on this guy is amazing though. He's got a buffalo head or whatever this thing is here, and his boots, they kind of look like cowboy boots at first glance. As you can see, he's actually wearing different kinds of shoes, like it's two different kinds of shoes. So his skirt here is the same pliable material, and it's got a lot of, like, this guy's outfit is out there. He's obviously got a lot going on. You can also see here in his arms, he has veins. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera, but they're actually painted. As you can see there, they're painted red. I don't know what species this guy's supposed to be, but like I said, he's a big guy and he's fearsome. And he, like the design of this guy is it's got me kind of scratching my head, but still a nice figure. I cannot lie and say that I'm disappointed with purchasing this figure. It's a pretty solid figure. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Now, one thing that determines the good and the bad figures, the final nail in the coffin, if you will, is the articulation. This guy has a lot of clothing and armor on, so a lot of his articulation may be hindered. He's also got a necklace on made out of teeth. So for the articulation, his head is on a ball joint. He doesn't really look up or down. He can move his head only that much, which is kind of a bummer. This big furry thing that he's wearing around his neck does get in the way. And if that doesn't get in the way, his hair does. He actually does have hair. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he's got long hair. So he has the ball joint in the shoulder. You can only get the right shoulder up about that much. It does go forward. You can probably rotate it all the way around, if not for this, or you would be able to rotate it around if it wasn't for that. You can move it forward, you can move it backward. This here piece is a separate piece from the armor on his chest, so that kind of helps with the movement of the arm. He does not have an ab crunch that I'm seeing, because this is actually a separate piece. It's not glued to him or anything, but I mean it's kind of snug on him. It's a bit too snug on him to determine a ab crunch. This arm moves out that much, and I like the way they designed this piece, because like this one, it's actually a separate piece, so you can get the arm to go up that much, and it's not like the solid plastic. So that's a cool added touch. You can get the left arm to go up that much, back that much. He does have waist articulation, which is cool, so you can move his waist from side to side. He does have the ball joint in the T-crotch. I'm assuming, yeah, he does have the ball joint in the T-crotch. But it's hindered because of the skirt as to how far you can actually move his legs out. You can get the right leg up that much forward, back that much. The left leg pretty much the same. Like I said, his clothing, they do hinder the articulation of the legs. He does have a thigh swivel in only one leg though, and that would be the right leg. I'm not really sure why I didn't put it in the left leg. I guess because his left leg, his upper thigh is actually exposed. The right leg is not. He has the single jointed elbow. These joints are stiff. Single jointed elbow on both arms. He has the wrist swivel, no pivot really in the, oh yeah, we do get some wrist pivot. Same with the other arm. This little piece doesn't really get in the way too much. It's soft plastic, as you can see. He has the single jointed knee. Oh wait, no. Oh, it's actually a double jointed knee. But you can't really utilize it as much because of this piece right here. The soft gold plastic, the piece on his leg there really hinders it. And same with this one. He's got so much stuff on this leg that it actually hinders the full effect of having the double joint in the knee. He has ankle pivot and he has the ankle swivel. No calf swivel or anything like that. And like I said, these joints are really tight, so if you guys are actually thinking about getting this figure, I'm going to be honest, you're probably not going to find it in any retail stores. They definitely do have them online. I've seen them online. So if you guys are thinking about going out and picking this figure up, or ordering it online rather, you're definitely going to want to heat them up a little bit to kind of loosen up the joints. Maybe set them in some hot water for a bit, or take a blow dryer to them. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and display this guy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I were to rate this figure, I would give him, excuse me, I'd give him about, what's that, 8.5, 9 maybe. The reason why I'm giving him a 9, I know you guys are like, whoa, you know, I've seen some figures that you reviewed that were probably better than this guy. The reason I'm giving him a 9 is because I like the overall. This is an overall grade for the figure. Overall, I think it's a nice figure. One thing I don't like is that they put so much padding and cushioning and stuff on this figure that it got in the way of the articulation. Other than that, it's a really nice figure. I do suggest you guys going out and picking it up. That's pretty much it, guys. I am the Figure King. Keep collecting, keep watching, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. You guys have a great night. Peace. And I'm also going to go on record and say that I actually changed the grade that I'm giving this figure. If you guys are wondering why, here's the reason. If you guys might have been wondering how well he held his weapon, not that good. His arms are, well, his hands rather, they're not closed tight enough. I know that this is a big weapon, but they could have done a better job with actually sculpting the hands to hold it a bit better. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy a 7.5, 8. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.